All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
All right. So please say the first kalima.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله
Good job. Second kalima.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا
No.
الله
Ashhadu alla ilaha. Ha should also be pronounced.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله
Good job. Now say the niyah.
إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين
It's Hanifun idgham. You have to read it in nose. Nia again, please.
إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين
Good job, Takbir.
الله أكبر
Yeah, Sana.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك
Wa bihamdika. Ha must be sharper. Sana again.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك
Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Al-Fatiha.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين
Ameen.
آمين
All right. Al-Ikhlas.
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد
Good job. Say, O Prophet, He is Allah, one and indivisible. Everybody needs Allah, but Allah needs none. He has never had offspring, nor was he born, and there is none comparable to him. All right, then there will be the second takbir, Allahu Akbar, and we will go down to the ruku, and these are the three words which will be read three times. So just repeat after me. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. Azim.
Yeah. Make sure that the ain is lighter, but law is heavier because law is a heavy letter. So this is the same azim which we read in Sadaqallahul Azim. That's the same azim here. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
Yeah, good job. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
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 Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
Sami Allah liman hamidah.
The lam of Allah will be heavy because the previous letter, which is Ain, has a fatha on it. So, Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
Sami Allah liman hamidah.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
Sami Allah liman hamidah.
Rabbana lakal hamd.
Rabbana lakal hamd.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
All right. So, what do we say when we go to ruku?
Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
Three times.
Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim.
And after that,
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
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 The 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 ha of Hami should be sharper, and the last ha will be softer. Hamidah.
Hamidah.
Yeah. One more time.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
Yeah. And after that,
Rabbana Rabbana lakal. Wait, do we stretch the na?
yeah, it is alif madda here.
Rabbana lakal hamd.
And raw is heavy.
Rabbana lakal hamd.
You will apply kalkala on dal.
Okay. Rabbana lakal hamd.
That's better. Good job. And after that,
Allahu Akbar.
good job. MashaAllah. So in prostration, we will read this. Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
Yeah. Now, here you have to be careful. Let me tell you one thing. whenever Hamza has a sign on it, the sound will come from the roof, from this point almost. So a e u. When you say a e u, say a e u.
A, I, U.
Yeah, are you feeling that it is coming from the roof?
Sort of?
Sort of. Something, it is coming from the top, not from the throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are many Quran teachers who will not agree with this because I'm not sure. They cannot answer me when I ask them that whenever it has a sign, it appears to me as if it is coming from the top, not from the bottom of the throat. But they keep on insisting that no, Hamza will be read from the bottom of the throat. Well, if you insist so much, then produce the sound from the bottom of the throat and also apply the signs on Hamza. But they are not able to do so. But anyway, the concept should be clear that Hamza, when it has a sign on it, it will come from the roof, from this point. And Ain is coming from the middle of the throat. Now, when Hamza has a fatha, Ain has a sukun. So, what happens is the sound is starting from the roof and it is ending at the middle of the throat. So, it should be R. Say R.
A.
That's better. Good job. So, R, la,
A'la.
yeah. Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
Good job. Perfect. Two times more.
Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
All right. I think for today it is enough. It is enough. You have to just you know all the these things, but just practice more so that your pronunciation is perfect. All right. Okay. So we can do some story. Uh, okay. All right. During this journey, the Prophet met and said salam to the other prophets in heaven. Okay, so this is the event of Miraj when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went up to the heavens to meet Allah. Also, here Allah told the Prophet that his people have to pray Salah 5 times a day. At first, Allah actually said 50 times, but then made it less for us when the Prophet asked him to, because Musa alayhi salam told him we would find it too hard. After that, some people, but however, it is the tradition or sunnah of Allah whenever He promises anything or orders anything, it cannot be revoked. So in the beginning, although Allah told the Prophet to tell us, the Muslims, to offer 50 time prayers, but the Prophet reduced to 5 times. But these 5 times, the reward of these 5 time prayers is equal to 50 times prayers. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a favor only bestowed upon the Ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After that, some people came from Yathrib, Medina, to make a promise to the Prophet to be good Muslims and to be good to him sometime later. The Prophet actually went to live in Medina. That moving from his home in Mecca to Medina is called the Hijrah. When the Prophet and his friends lived there, the city became Medina. The mosque or the masjid of the Prophet is built in a place that the Prophet's camel chose by kneeling down there. The people of Medina were called the Ansar, the helpers of the Prophet. The Prophet and all the people lived there happily. Some rules were made which included that the Jews would also live there just as happily as the Muslims. But guess what? Those naughty people in Makkah did not give up. They still wanted to harm the Prophet and the Muslims. They marched 1,000 men to Medina to attack. The Muslims got together 300 men to fight back and protect themselves. Even though there were many more men on the other side, they lost the battle and the Muslims won. This is called the Battle of Badr. Later, there was another battle between the Quraysh and the Muslims called the Battle of Uhud. This time, the people from Mecca really wanted to make sure they win. They got 3,000 men, 200 horses, and lots of great weapons. The Prophet ﷺ had a lot less men and only one horse. They lost this battle sadly because some of his men didn't listen to the Prophet's orders. Even Hamza radiallahu anhu was killed. The Quraysh behaved very badly and rudely at that time. There was a hill, and the Prophet ordered some of the companions to protect that hill so that the enemy could not attack from the rear. However, when the Muslims won the war of Battle of Uhud in the beginning, mm, the other Muslims were busy in collecting the uh, spoils of war, the weapons and the things which belonged to the enemy's soldiers who died in the battlefield. They were collecting it. So these soldiers, these companions who were uh, assigned this duty to protect this hill, they also went down and collected these spoils and began collecting these spoils of war. Now, the commander who was assigned here, he told his the people who were in under his command not to disobey the orders of Prophet Muhammad because he told us to protect this hill. But they did not listen. Only 3 men remained, and the rest of them they went down the hill. And they said that we have already won the battle. So why should we worry about this hill anymore? The enemy is fleeing. However, it was not the case. The enemy was fleeing indeed, but there was a fresh uh, cavalry, people on the horses, cavalry. They were ready, and the commanding officer of that cavalry was Khalid bin Walid. Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu anhu was a non-Muslim at that time, and he was a very good fighter. He was a very good soldier and commander. So he saw the opportunity that this hill is empty and we can go there and attack the Muslims from behind. And this is what he did. He attacked the Muslims from behind and he killed many Muslims as a result. So this victory turned into a tie. It was not a complete loss, but still it was a tie between the Muslims and the non Muslims. This was the thing which is being hinted here. And the uncle Hamza radiallahu anhu was his body was mutilated by the enemy. So there was a woman called Hinda. She later on at the end, after the victory of Makkah, she reverted to Islam. But at that time, she was a very staunch kafir, a very staunch kafira, a non-Muslim. So what she did was that her father was killed in the Battle of Badr, the first battle, and she was very vengeful and angry. So she bought a slave, and his her slave was very good in throwing. What should we call it? Juvenile or whatever. The stick, the stick He was very good in throwing that. Do you remember the term?
Oh no.
Let me look for you. It was
It was a javelin.
yeah, javelin. Yeah. So she bought him and she promised him that if he kills Hamza, who actually in the Battle of Badr killed the father of Hinda, then she will free him and give him gold. So he killed Hamza, and then after that, Hinda cut his belly and took out his what should I call it, the liver, and just put it in her mouth in order to take revenge. So she was very savage at that time. She mutilated his body. Anyway, Muslims throughout the history have sacrificed a lot in order for Islam to reach us, to our times. So it is our duty to practice it, cherish it as much as we have the ability to do. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
All right, it's Amina's turn. You can call Amina now.